Let's roll. D4, knight f6, and e6. We are entering what? We are entering the territory known as Nimzo-Indian land or Bogo-Indian, depending on how white responds. Knight c3, bishop b4 is the Nimzo-Indian. If knight f3 and b6, or excuse me, if knight f3 and bishop here, that would be the Bogo. The Bogo. Okay, I played this earlier, queen c2, and I was suggesting b6. Is that correct? Was I giving bad suggestions when I said that? I want to try something else. What about c5? Let's try c5. That is a weak point now, is it not? Is there a drawback to the queen c2 move? Is there a weakness that's been created now? Okay. I'm going to take here. Is the queen going to recapture? Ah! Okay, where do I want my pawns? $1 million question. Where do I want my pawns? Quickly in the Twitch chat. Hopefully the majority of you who are tuned in for many of the streams will know this answer. Throw a question to that bishop, see what it wants to do. Let's get this in. What's the $1 million question? The answer to it, I mean. I already rattled off the $1 million question. Pawns on dark. Since with my remaining bishop, it's on light. I want to keep them coordinated. These guys say, all right, I got the dark squares. Don't worry about it. My bishop says, okay, I got the light squares. You don't worry about them. You got it? It's good. Knight here. Hang on. Pawn here. No, I'm dropping a pawn if I do that. Okay, let's come here. Now, if pawn push, I really need to be cautious of knight here, because if d5 knight to this square, then bishop takes knight cannot be met with queen recapture because of queen a4 and goodbye to my knight. But I have the time now to get that move in, and I think I'm going to run with b6. My knight is unprotected because of this last move. Maybe there was an opportunity to actually take and play queen here. I might have just slipped up right there. What about... That still might be available. This is bothering me. Okay, it's not really what I want to do. I'm going to play here, though. Bishop here. Yeah, that seems right. Bishop here, and then the plan is going to be to eventually play here. Let me do this first. Support this pawn, supporting my central points. My queen is, in some sense, coordinated with my pawns, right? She's supporting, you know, e5 in particular. I might want to also run with g5, which is a bit committal, right? Because if I'm going to be castling in this direction, there's weak points without a doubt. f5, h5, f6, h6. With just one pawn move, there's 4 squares that become holes. Serious weaknesses. The f5 square being the one that's I think could maybe be exploited easiest. And now I'm cringing a bit here. Do I want to put pressure on that? No, I can't really do that. I'm going to try this, and then pawn push? This is tough. This is very tough right here. My knight is... well... pawn push, there's going to be f. I want to prevent f4 takes and then a pin in this direction, so I don't want to deal with that. And there might be actually knight here, and then this a pawn could run down here, and this side of the board can open up. So I'm doing this to reinforce e4 or e5 and also get out of potential pins here. Now this could become a serious problem quickly. I think I really do need to castle queenside, and there's nothing really I could do. In response to knight here, I have to take. And now that move I don't understand. Wait a second now. I'm going to come back over in this direction. Now that f4 can't... now I don't need the support on this square. I want to get to this square. In the meantime, bishop there is a nice idea. I better play here. There might have been a queen check, and I would have to block. Maybe queen check first, and then I'd have to block with my queen or something. We're pretty tight here with the time. Knight on f4 I think is going to be pretty good. Let's see about that. I can't... well, so much for castling. Knight here. The queen is running a bit out of squares, but whoa, a queen trade? This can't be right, because now this is starting to really show itself. Bishop there, but now after I take, I play this. And this is a potential target maybe, or even this. So I have a grip on the position. There aren't any successful pawn breaks for black. There is rook c8 to this square, and there's something better. What about getting some more space here? There's no way that this pawn could fall. Actually, I'm going to do this and get some more king position in. Where can I go with my king? Rook b4 is just met with rook c8. And where do I make progress? This might be pretty tricky here. I might have to get this f pawn involved. Okay, can my knight do something else? Ah, yes, I want to get him here. But I don't want to go here because the bishop will take him out. So... boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Let's do it. Close position. And if king here, and it needs to come quickly. Okay, my opponent's taking that into account. Very good. Let me do something else, maybe. Seeing how it's going to be snipped as soon as that move comes about. Because otherwise, knight here, if knight takes, I play here. I'm on the rook and this knight. Although there might be still something there. Let me double up rooks first. I don't think there's any hurry. And actually, okay, let me do this. Before I double rooks, and I better move a bit quicker. I'm going to get my king in a better spot. So, what is the plan here? Oh, wait a second. I changed my mind. I forgot about that pawn. My opponent is maneuvering very well. Okay, I'm coming in for the kill, I think. It's going to be taken. I'm going to actually... oh, this is a mistake because I get the file now. I get activity from my rooks. 30 seconds, though, to figure it out. I'm on the bishop and the pawn. I get this guy. What's the plan? I want to get my knight to g3 next. g3. I don't have to go after that a-pawn. g3. How can I get it to g3? I'm close to getting there, actually, by way of f1. Oh, this could be brutal. Oh, bishop pin. No, I have a check. A fork. Check. They're in a knot. My opponent's in a knot right now. The rook has to move. I want to get my king over. Where? Actually, my rook is in a good spot. I want to play f5. f5 is the next pawn break. Oh, I had a fork. Go back there. I have a fork. Oh, that was missed. Time pressure. And now it's going to be... just watch out for stalemate, actually. Let me target this. I want to get them out of stalemate. Come back over here. No time. The rook is cutting them off. And I think it's smooth sailing from here. and then pawn push next. Right down to the wire. Oh, time scramble territory. Good game. Very nice. Oh, man. Very, very good game. Let's go back through this one. Let's see how either one of us could have improved upon things. My opponent is saying right idea, wrong square for the rook at the end. Yeah, you have to shuffle back and forth like that. I think there might have been a win somehow with, like, there's still an F5 break or maybe an A6 break. I'm not sure, but let's have a look at it. So we're working with this structure, and what moves caught me off guard? I wonder about this one, actually. As soon as I played B6, I think there's a shot with bishop takes, queen E4. This pawn is hit 3 times, and my knight is hit. Actually, there's nothing there. I just defend with bishop B7. False alarm. Okay, so pressure on C4, and this right here struck me as off. I think you play F4 here. Open this position up, and what I was really fearing is something like the rooks springing to life on this F-file. I think F5, and there's no way I could be better. This is collapsing. You could play F4. You could double the rooks on the F-file. You could play bishop to H5. There's problems. Very serious problems over here. And in the meantime, I think it's a bit convenient for you to be defending against my knight and its pressure on your C4 pawn. He's just, I'm kind of viewing this knight as being out of play. It's really turned into a strategic game. As soon as, what a difference a pawn move makes. E4 says, okay, you know what, I could come over here and get on F4. But F4 means I really have to sit and hope for the best. And I'm seeing a lot of pressure being placed on this diagonal or this one as was played in the game. But it's much more easy to deal with the bishop being on this diagonal if the position is closed, if these files are not opened up. So I don't think it turns out to be quite enough. I think I'm in serious trouble if F4 is played instead of E4. So in the queen exchange, I don't know if I was really too afraid of that. This gets tough. I don't want to allow this pawn push. I was thinking about D3 at that point. My opponent was saying that they thought they could get a knight to F5. I think eventually you could have in this later game. Just in the nick of time, my opponent is definitely, and this is in time pressure as well. This is a strong opponent. Playing the king move, getting ready to snip the knight as soon as it plays here. Right now, the knight could get to that square right here, and I totally forgot about that. I'm kind of going back and forth with my king. Back the bishop up, and then get to this square, and then here. And then that's a problem. Although for the one moment you play your knight to this square, maybe I could be playing to this square and then this one and be a bit disruptive. Interesting game, without a doubt. The main mistakes are ones that came about in time pressure, allowing me to get my knight to this square. I don't know really what I have if bishop takes knight is played. Bishop takes knight, rook takes. All right, what do I have? The only pawn break that I think would maybe be some improvement is F5 and then G4 or something. Like if I have my rook on this point, putting pressure on D5, maybe F5, some F4 push, but I think it should be able to hold for white. Very good game. Very nice. Benko Gambitier. Okay. Let's see. My opponent is typing something else. They want to share something else about the game. Saying, I knew I should have taken the knight on c5, but when it was there, just a mental lapse. Okay, yeah, so they had the right idea. I mean, I assumed you knew that it was the case, because that's why the king h1, bishop g1 moves were played, so you could get in a position just in the nick of time to do that. So yeah, it was just a mental lapse. It's easy to do in these faster games. Okay.